Good morning, y'all. It's Monday morning, about 8:15. Y'all know Hazel and I stayed in Hemet last night. I went and saw a movie. Got all snugged up at Walmart. There was another, there was a big Class A park there in the parking lot. I told y'all about that and even showed it to you. So I read until I got sleepy, shut off my tablet, got down in my blankets, and got to sleep until about 1:30. And the dreaded knock. At first, I just ignored it, hoping they'd go away. But the young man was pretty persistent. So I came out of the back and took the window covering off of the front passenger side. He had already walked across to get into his truck. And so I got out and I walked over to his truck and I said, "Is there a problem, young man?" And he goes, "Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bother you, but it's against the law to sleep in Hemet in a public parking lot." And I said, "Well, okay then." Now at 1:30, you're pretty conked out. Plus, I don't really drive well at night. I need to not do it. But I got on the road and I went down about 10 miles to Sun City. And I wasn't going to drive all the way home, y'all. That was an hour. I was sleepy. I couldn't see good in the dark. So I got off on McCall Avenue and drove around just a little bit in Sun City. It had been a long time since I'd been there. But I just found a church and parked way back in the back of their parking lot. Now, I didn't put my window coverings back on the front windshield or on the passenger or driver's side. I figured that anybody that might have looked over would have just seen a van that somebody parked there in the parking lot for a while. I felt like the window coverings would have just screamed, "Somebody is sleeping in there." So I got back in the back and got Hazel back there settled with me, and we got up about, 7:30 this morning. Had breakfast at McDonald's, and now we're headed home. Now I asked the young man, oh, by the way, when I was getting ready to leave the Walmart parking lot and I looked around, there was a huge Class A, a new one, or newer, and it had it had like 3 different slides out. So they looked like they'd been there a while, and there were 2 vehicles parked right next to it, one on either side. So I guess they thought that they were going to get to spend the night there as well. But what the young man told me was, I said, "Is this a 24-hour Walmart?" He goes, "No, ma'am, it's not." Well, see, therein lies the mistake. I did not check that out. I just assumed because it was a super Walmart, the big ones with the big grocery store in them, that it would be a 24-hour. And since it wasn't, that's when they have all the street sweeping in the parking lot sweeping done. And of course they can't afford to have a bunch of vehicles parked around. They never get the parking lot cleaned. So anyway, we're on our way home, and Of course, you never sleep. Well, let me retract that. You do sleep well in your vehicle, but it was cold last night, y'all. And I wasn't freezing or anything, but it was pretty nippy. So, you don't sleep as well under those conditions as you do when you can just stretch out. You got one leg out from under the covers, and you know, that kind of, it wasn't that kind of rest. So I'm pretty tired. And of course, Miss Hazel, she sleeps really well no matter where she's at. So we're going to go home, and I'm going to take a shower. She's going to get a bath, and it's laundry day today. Now, I made a bunch of videos yesterday, y'all, and I'm going to have to go through and kind of, I never watch my videos before I post them, because most of them would never make it. But I'm going to have to look at some of these and delete some and figure out which ones I'm actually going to post or publish, if you want to use the correct terminology. So anyway, y'all, that's it for this little trip that Hazel and I took. And the next time we go out, I'm hoping to find, I don't know what I'm hoping to find. We'll just have to wait and see. I love y'all, and I hope you have a good Monday and you do something fun. Bye now.